Welcome back, everybody. Chris here. Today we're going to go over the BP10 meta, Gods of Arcana. And yeah, we're just going to be talking about what happened in Japan. We're going to talk about what our community thought of pretty much going into this next set. And we're going to give some of our predictions from our team that we think is going to pretty much be either the best decks and some of them maybe most interesting in play decks. So to start off, again, let's start with the Japanese meta. And pretty much here is a very good screenshot of pretty much everything that happened when this set came out in BP10. And we have Rune as being pretty much the highest played deck with just an overwhelming amount. Second to that is Bats. And third to that is Sword. And fourth and fifth could be tied, but Dragon is a little bit more popular than Forest here for this set. But yeah, for Rune, Earthright. For Abyss, Bats. For Sword, we got a new one, which is really kind of like the same thing with just some different cards. Black and White Merchant, token aggro things. It's all the same. Just, a little upgrade, a little wash on the paint here and there. But essentially the same. And, you guys might be having a little bit of deja vu, but this looks kind of exactly like BP09. Like, it looks almost exactly the same. So, don't be surprised when you go to your locals or go to your next tournament and all you see is Bats and Rune. But you might see a little bit of sprinkled of Armed Dragon. Armed Dragon is getting an absurd amount of support, and I'm very interested to see how those decks pretty much play. But, I think it'll be a good deck for your Dragon players, for anyone who really wants to just main Dragon for this set. So, be on the lookout for it. And for our Forest players, we have Puppets. Puppets I feel like has fallen off a little bit, but it's Forest, and I think it is the best one to pretty much have in your arsenal for Forest. So, but yeah, we're gonna look at some of these, just one or two of these lists here. We're gonna start with the good old Puppet, as in it was the least played. But all these cards here are in Japan. I am not going to translate them because I don't know Japan and or don't know how to translate them myself. But if you guys have seen a Puppet list before, you guys can tell, oh, this is the same, this is the same, this is the same. All these are the same, and then you see this one card, like, ooh, this is different. We'll probably go into exactly what these cards do when the English reveals actually do come out, and I can have the nice English translations for you guys. But this is a good little snapshot of what you can see changing in the deck. There's really not much. Anastasia's still there, and the whole combo of just turn 5 spam, turn 6 spam, and hope to win the game, pretty much. So, but Puppets, I can see how it doesn't do that well because it doesn't get really too much upgrades. But if you guys want to play Puppets, go for it. Now, moving on to the Sword deck. And again, like I said with Puppets, it looks the same, but as you can see, there's just a little bit more different cards in this deck. It essentially plays the same core, Cilia, Leode, the Queens, and Monochrome Duel as the last set. Again, with just a little bit of upgrade. So, if you knew how to play against it in BP09, you'll know how to play against it here. You'll just have to learn what exactly the new specific cards do, and just get some testing and get some feel around. Okay, like now this card allows them to do X and X and A and A and so on. So yeah, still Sword still does its thing and still is going to be a good contender for the next set. And now we're going to move on to Bats. Everyone loves Bats. Even if you hate it, you love it. You guys know. But looking at this list, and this is just the first list that popped up, looks exactly the same, guys. There was no I might have to double check, but I'm pretty sure there's no extra vampire support. But the fact that this deck stays the exact same and is able to do what it still does into new cards coming into the fray, it just shows how just absurdly broken this deck is. So if you guys have it, you guys made a good investment. Keep playing it, keep winning. This is the deck for you. But yeah, you know, I'm a bats enjoyer, so I feel bad. I don't feel bad playing against other people, even if they played against it for 2 sets in a row, because we're here to win, and bats will definitely get you to win. So yeah, be looking forward to playing against some good old bats, and try not to invite them inside your house. All right, now going on to everybody's favorite for this last 3 or 4 months, Earthright. And hopefully with these new leaders coming out in the set, you guys can bling out your leader cards and stuff of that nature, and just give them an upgrade. So I know a lot of people are hurting for some good leader cards instead of the generic ones. But yeah, looking briefly at the list here, it looks the same. There's a couple new cards here, maybe a couple tech cards, but again, same thing as bats. Almost 99% the same deck. So expect to see this. We have too many Rune Enjoyers, too many Earthright Enjoyers going in NA. It's like absurd, but you know, if you don't like Rune, play bats, and 9 times out of 10 you'll be able to win. Maybe like 70 out of 10. Depends on what you draw and the luck of God you have on you. So yeah, there's not much to say more about Rune Earthright. We're gonna get into some other decks when we go into my predictions. But yeah, if you have Earthright, you're eating good. Okay, you're eating good. And lastly, on the Japan side, but not the last craft, as you guys know, missing 2, but we'll talk about those later. Armed Dragon. You know, I think this is going to be a real fun deck to play, and I am going to be diving into it, and make sure you guys read up on the rulebook, exactly how events work and things of that nature, so you guys know exactly how to maneuver your turns, how to best win the game. Because surprisingly enough, Arm gets a good amount of advanced cards. So in this deck here, running, well, he's actually not running the advanced card for this one, this box art card. So I think this is going to be a really fun one. I mean, it looks like it has been winning a lot, and seems like it is like the best deck in Japan. But we're going to see exactly if that is true, because there's another deck in Dragon that has got tons of support in this set, and you know, usually it's mirrored from NA in Japan, because you know, essentially they had the meta flushed out almost. I think could be some more time to flush it out some more, but I think with our creativity here, it might shake it up just a little bit. Maybe this might be number 2 deck, and maybe another deck might be number 1, but I think it's a solid deck. I'm looking forward to play it, and I know you guys are looking forward to also playing it yourselves, but also seeing it being played. So we're gonna have a good amount of gameplay on this deck, and just the artwork on these cards, amazing, just amazing. So yeah, that was Dragon, and now we're gonna go into what our community pretty much was thinking about when we were talking about the BP10 meta. I just asked a simple question, what everybody was looking forward to, what everybody thought that was going to be the best, and here are some of the answers. So, Donut here, we had a good rave about the Xylony, Oh Great World, and the World. I don't know how you guys say that. As we play the meta some more, I'll probably get the actual pronunciation better, but for now it's going to be the World and Oh Great World for me. But yeah, this card is it's really interesting and really cool. Love the artwork. I think it's amazing. And I think this is just going to be a good stable card that you guys definitely want to pick up for pretty much majority of your deck, since it is a neutral cards. As far as the advanced side of it, I mean, that one's a little harder to pull off, unless like you can revolve your deck around getting this advanced card out and ending the game, but it's gonna take 2 turns to really finish that. And yeah, I don't see how realistic that'll be, but you know, prove me wrong. Maybe I'll prove myself wrong and play around with it here and there. But yeah, we had a good little chat and just talking about some of the viabilities of the card. And you know, Donut, if you guys don't know Donut, he does have another channel. He is our Abyss player. Please go check him out. Come in Discord, he posts his videos there and you can see it. But yeah, pretty much going over it. Not really too much that you can do with that advanced card, like I said, but a lot of people are excited for it, a good amount of hype for it, and we'll see what we can do. And another one that we were talking about here, which is a funny interaction if you're running one of the advanced cards and someone plays Erd on you and you just happen to snipe their one Oh Great World, and that was like the only way that they planned to win the game. That's a little fun thing, a little fun shenanigans that I would die laughing at if it either happened to me or if it happens to my opponent. So if you guys are seeing this in your locals, where people are relying on their advanced cards coming out of the EX deck, or I'm sorry, yeah, Evolve deck, then you might want to check in some Erds and see if you can get some of those cards that they are oh so graciously thinking they're going to get for free. And yeah, this is a pretty good beam actually. If I ever get to that point to where I am playing that card, like you're gonna be forced to stay at the table with me. Like, you are not getting up, buddy. You're not going home until we finish this game. Another one, Sanguine. Sanguine is getting a lot of support, and it's gonna be really fun. I don't know if I'm gonna be testing out some aggro, which I probably will. I like the aggro, or if I'm gonna test out a little bit more of a control build. But aggro Sanguine might be doing something with this new support, and this is kind of a list that Donut posted that looks very interesting, and I'm definitely gonna use this as a baseline as we go into our testing. So yeah. And then yeah, Armed Dragon, Leviathan, not even gonna say it. The other Leviathan, that's what it is, Leviathan Dragon. And yeah, you know, really the hype is not for any of the decks that we already have because we've already been playing with them, but definitely the new stuff, and that's kind of some of the stuff that the community has brought up. So if you want to come in and join in a conversation, come join the Discord, and the discussion is right there for you. But lastly, we're going to go into my predictions of pretty much top 2 decks that I think are going to be happening in each class. Alright, so to end off the video, we're going to go with our predictions here at All-in-One. Our team, we're going to be testing and making spreadsheets and crunching the numbers and helping people out as much as we can. But to go over it, you know, top deck for Abyss for sure is Bats, like hands down. I don't think anything else like really compares to it. So I think that was pretty obvious. The second deck that I think could do something, especially with the new support, is Sanguine. Now the exact version of it, I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully it's aggro. I think we need a little bit of aggro in this thing, but it might be a mid-range Sanguine deck built with some of that new late game support. So yeah, that's my second pick, and you guys can call it a fun pick too if you really want to. And if you guys think there's another deck that might be, you know, up there for second place, please put it in the comments. So next is Sword Merchant, which is pretty much aggro sword, just with a little bit extra cards, maybe with a little bit actual like US tax on it, because that's like now merchant sword and you have to pay taxes. But yeah, it's pretty much aggro sword with a couple extra toys to play, as we saw in the example deck list. And then my second deck for this one is Hero Sword. I believe this is getting a little bit more support. I gotta look back at it, but I do think Hero Sword is overall a good deck that can pretty much high roll you into a win. So if you guys have hero cards, test it out and see which one is working for you. Haven, a very interesting one. Haven. Amulet Haven, I think is really slept on. I mean, we have a lot of people in our community that plays Haven a lot, and actually Storm Ward and Amulet Haven, and sometime the Prayer Haven. But Amulet Haven has taken down multiple of our tournaments, and I think it really has a good matchup against the decks in BPO9, and since the decks from BPO9 are pretty much the same decks in BPO10, I think Amulet Haven is just an amazing deck for that. And I mean, it might fall short more times than not when compared to Bats Merchant and the new Armed Dragon, but I think it holds its own very well. Next, Storm and Ward Haven. Another aggro deck that's really good, that can definitely pivot to being a little bit more defensive and mid-rangey. But I do think this is a really good deck. We have some good Storm Ward Haven players in here that I know there's just an ounce of support that they're just waiting for to take this deck over top. So definitely looking forward to that. Next, Forest, Puppets. You know, not much to say about it. We already said it earlier. Puppets. But my second deck, Fairy. Fairy. For all my World Beyond enjoyers, coming soon on the channel. I know you guys are ecstatic about the Fairy changes on there, but sadly in Evolved there's no Fairy changes, but I do still think this is a good deck. Again, it's another aggro deck that I think that we need to just help you just high roll into those wins, and I think it is very consistent with some of the little support that they got, and I believe they got some support in this set. Again, gotta look back at that. Next one, Armed Dragon. We already talked about it. That's gonna be my first pick here, but my second pick is gonna be one that I'm gonna be trying out a lot, because again, there's a lot of support for Discard Dragon, and I'm going to be trying out just straight Discard and trying out straight Natura Dragon and see which one is actually way better. But I think overall, any version of Discard for Dragon that you guys pick, it might be really hard to deal with. And, you know, if you don't know what you're going up against or how to deal with Discard Dragon, I think you might have a terrible time against it. So, yeah, that is my pick, and that is hands down my favorite pick out of this next set to tinker with and figure it out. So yeah, and last and least, Rune, Earthright Rune. We've already said it. Copy paste, bring your deck over, add one card or two, and you'll be fine. But for my second pick, D-Shift, I think this deck, you know, with all these decks wanting to go 5 play points and above almost all the time, except for like Sword, I think you have a good amount of time to control the game, get your stuff in a graveyard, drop however you want to call it, and get up to taking those 2 turns and just wipe your opponent out. So if you guys have D-Shift, play it, see how it is. If it's trash, let me know in the comments. But I think in the right hands and the right pilot, you can do a lot with D-Shift. So look out for that deck. It might be rare, but it's out there. And that's my second pick for Rune. And that's pretty much gonna do with the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are looking for tournaments, please do come into Discord. We do them weekly. Links are in the description. Come show us why you're the best, and if you need help being the best, we'll help you because we have some amazing players that join our tournaments weekly. So, hope to see you guys in the next video. Please do like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts. And yeah, I'll be signing off here. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, rest of your day, whatever rest of whatever you're doing. So, adios.